And so the day 7 is over, and it's time for video report about what did I learn today. Well, today was nice. I learned a lot of new stuff from chemistry, from ecological sanitation class, from the class about the landfill, and just a bit of Chinese at the end of the day. I want to start with chemistry. What did I learn in a chemistry class? So today we mainly talked about hydrogen, about how cool is it, how cool it is, and where do we use it, how do we produce it, and how do we keep it, most importantly, and some compounds, some hydrogen compounds and isotopes. Oh, and also we have learned some new things about the periodic table, some extra information about periodic table. So metals, it turns out the most common elements in the periodic table is hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. Yep. And it turns out more than the bigger part of the whole periodic table consists of metals, and just a little part of it consists of metalloids, and others are non-metals. So hydrogen, talking about the hydrogen, it turns out 75% of the mass of the universe consists of hydrogen. Yeah, the whole universe is literally the one bunch of hydrogen. But unlike the Earth itself, only 0.9, I think, approximately 0.9% of the Earth consists of the mass of the Earth is hydrogen. Sorry. And talking about isotopes, it has some isotopes. I think there are only 3 isotopes, hydrogen isotopes. Those are H1, H2, and H3. So H1 is the most common one. Approximately, I think 99% of the whole hydrogen is the H1, the first isotope, and there's also H2, which is basically the same hydrogen, but it's slightly heavier somehow. And it turns out since hydrogen is in the water, it turns out if there is an H2 in the water, it means the water mass is going to be bigger. Yeah, so there is a heavy water. I have no idea what to do with this information, but at least I know it, right? Oh, and there is also H3, which is radioactive. H3 is pretty dangerous, but it can be used for nuclear fission somehow. And how to produce and store hydrogen? Well, it turns out in order to produce hydrogen, we use some chemicals. For example, mainly we use methane. Yep, CH4, methane. And if I got it right, we have to heat it, and the temperature should be above 1000. Yeah, maybe 1000 or maybe 1100 Celsius degrees. And also we can use carbon to produce hydrogen. We also have to heat it, burn it, and the temperature should be equal to almost equal above 1000 Celsius degrees. What else? Oh, and yeah, there are some chemical properties over there written on my paper, but right now I do not understand them, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll learn them for sure. So the uses of hydrogen. Where do we even use it, and why do we use it? So basically, the half of the hydrogen produced is mainly used for synthesis with ammonium. Yep. It's also used to lighten the weight of fuels, for example, the coal, the methane, or oil, for example. Yep. Or gasoline. Yep. The mass of the fuel is gonna be decreased if we mix them with hydrogen. And and there is a cool thing about the hydrogen. It turns out the modern technologies allow us to use hydrogen as a fuel. For example, the rockets. Since the hydrogen is very good, the compressed hydrogen is a good gas. It's a good explosive. Yeah, it's pretty good at explosions, so we can use it as a fuel. And some car companies are trying to develop that idea, and some of them already made hydrogen-based cars. For example, Toyota or BMW. Yeah, but the main problem is that in order to keep the hydrogen, in order to store the hydrogen, we need to compress it somehow, and we need really special materials to do that, to keep the compressed hydrogen air, which means if you place it inside of your car, then your car is basically just moving bomb, because if something happens to the storage, then it's gonna just explode just like a rocket. So, and yeah, but there are advantages of hydrogen as a fuel. Using hydrogen as a fuel, for example, when it is mixed with when the reaction occurs between with oxygen and hydrogen, it's a pretty good. It's highly exothermic. So, and the second advantage is water is the only product, so it's basically easy to gain. And the third advantage is that its low mass gives a high energy density. That's it for advantages. Now disadvantages. Producing hydrogen takes energy. As I mentioned before, in order to produce hydrogen, we need to heat carbon, whether carbon or methane, and burning. The process of burning, of course, needs an energy. It needs an input. So, yeah, probably one of the biggest disadvantages. And the second disadvantage is going to be storage, of course. If we do not want to create a little bump, we have to keep it in a large storages, and in a large with a large volumes. And safety, since it's pretty explosive, I would not call it as a safe source of energy, as a safe source, as a safe fuel. So yeah, it's pretty explosive, especially with oxygen and when we heat it at the same time. What else? Something else. Oh, and we also considered noble gases. Yeah, noble gases. There are some in the periodic table, and they are very stable. They are extremely stable, so they are used almost everywhere, in production, in agriculture, even in somewhere else. I don't know where. I'm still learning about it. Yeah. So, it has compounds. It turns out it has compounds, and it was discovered. The compounds were discovered in 1962. I don't know by whom, but I guess he was a cool guy. What else? Yep, the rest is just some chemical properties, chemical formulas I'm not familiar with, at least right now. So I'll just leave it for the future me, right? And yep, that's it for the chemistry. Now let's move on to the sanitation system. So, last time we had that disgusting topic, but I guess it's pretty necessary to learn about the urine treatment, about its treatment, about its safety, about conditions where it can be stored and why it should be stored, right? So yeah, as I said last time, urine should be collected urine in a storage should be stored underground in different temperatures. For example, it might be in a cold period, it might be 4 Celsius degrees, or in a hot period of time, maybe in summer or spring, it might be 20. Yeah, the 20. But it's better to keep the urine in between 15 and 20, something like that. Oh yeah, treatments. It turns out we can treat it with calcium hydroxide, and it just stabilizes. It just makes a stabilization of it. So yeah, it means less odor and less loss of urea, and urea is pretty good fertilizer and it's a main component in urine, the most useful component in urine, urea. So Yeah. Oh, it turns out the uh, for ideal condition for not losing urea, to keep urea in the urine, is to keep it in 40 from to keep it from 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, and add just a bit of calcium hydroxide. So what else? What else? What other treatments do we have for urine? Of course, it's drying. Yeah, we can just dry it, and in certain conditions, in order to get a good fertilizer. And but there are some problems with a drying method, since it just speeds up the inactivation of potential pathogens, and as we know, pathogens are the main problem in urine. Yeah, that's basically it for the urine. And going further, we also have learned about feces treatment. We know the urine treatment. Now, of course, we have to learn the feces treatment. But yeah, I do understand that that's really important topic to discuss, to learn, since for about 8 billion people poo every day, right? And we have to deal with that waste. Yeah. Oh, and you know what's sad? The saddest thing is the toilet. The toilet systems are still. The toilet topic is still some sort of taboo for the society. So that's why, like, millions of people are struggling with lack of proper systems, proper feces treatment systems. So yeah, and it can even cause a lot of deaths, which is of course sad, and we have to do something about it. We have to think about it more, and maybe do another toilet revolution. Anyway, the feces treatment. So, if I got it right, the main purpose for the feces treatment is to reduce the amount of pathogens or kill them all, or pathogens and indicators. Indicators are the cooler versions of pathogens, so it's pretty hard to deal with them. Much harder than dealing with pathogens. Yes, I think, yeah, that's the main purpose of doing it. We can. Oh, and there is 2 types of sanitation for the feces treatment. The first one is sewage sanitation, and the second one is on-site sanitation. Yeah, on-site sanitation is when the feces are kept in septic tank, and they, after the treatment, we get those biosolids for the agriculture, in order to keep the soil, and in order to use it for the soil and for the fertilization. Yep, that's right. On the other hand, we have sewage sanitation, and after that treatment, we get an effluent to agricultural use or discharge to the main water sources, to the main receiving water. So yeah, that's it for the feces treatment. Very important topic. And the next subject for today is going to be landfill. Not too much information for that, because we had some calculations, and since I'm not good at calculations, I just tried to learn the basics, the basic understanding of the landfill. So, gosh, where is it? So much paper here. Where is it? Oh, found it. So the landfill, we just went through the history real quick, and the landfill, it turns out even in ancient Greek, people used the landfill systems in order to get rid of the trash. For example, in ancient Greek, for about from 3000 to 1000, from the 3000 to 1000 BC, yeah, they used to throw the trash into a crater and covered it with layers. Yeah, that was the first landfill systems in the world. Landfill. So there are classifying landfills. There are many classifications of the landfill. I could not write them down since I was too slow, I guess. We did learn some information about closed landfill system. It's when we just dig a hole and then just bury it again after we throw the trash inside of it. So it takes for about from 30 to 50 years in order to reach stability, thus normative cover, like when we put the soil back. It turns out it takes from 30 to 50 years in order to make everything beautiful again, make everything to look beautiful again. And we can actually use those closed landfills, for example, for reconstructions. We can make some golf areas in order to play golf, or parking lots, or basically anything. We can even use it for the agriculture. And no, not for the agriculture, that's a bad idea. For skiing resorts, for example. And yeah, basically everything that is not too heavy. And yeah, that's it for the landfill. Now let's move to Chinese. I could learn only 2 new words today and 1 grammatical structure. The first word for today is renjun. It means serious, to be serious about something. Renjun. 认真。我姐姐是一个认真的学生。我姐姐是一个认真的学生。认真的学生 it means like hardworking student, hardworking student. My sister 我的姐姐是一个认真的学生。So my sister is a hardworking student. 他做事不太认真。That's vice versa. It means 他做事不太认真。他做事不太认真。认真。他做事不太认真。It means he's not working hard enough. 他做事不太认真。不太认真。Not too hard. Like he's not working hard enough. So, and the second word for today is 当然。当然。当然。Pronunciation. I'm killing it. 当然. Of course. Of course. 当然。当然。当然。Are you a good person? Are you a good person? 你是好人吗？当然，我是很好人。Hopefully. 你做作业了吗？你做作业了吗？你做作业了吗？Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? 你做作业了吗？作业 means homework. 你做作业了吗？当然，我是一个很好，我是一个认真的学生。我是一个认真的学生。你做作业了吗？当然，我是一个认真的学生。认真 from the first word I learned today. It's like hardworking, serious, like very serious. So, did you do your homework? Of course I did. I'm a good student. I'm a hardworking student. 妈妈做的菜当然好吃。当然好吃。妈妈做的菜当然好吃。Of course the meal. Of course my mommy's cookings are the best, are yummy. Of course my mom's food is yummy. 当然好吃。And for the last part, I decided to learn one grammatical structure, which is 一边 at the same time doing something, at the same time doing another thing. For example, 我们边走边说吧。我们边走边说吧。边走边说吧。边走 it's like 我们边走边说吧。Let's talk while walking. 走吧 like 走 and 说吧。Let's talk while walking. So doing one thing at the same time doing another thing. 边 the second sentence. 他边吃饭边听音乐。他边吃饭边听音乐。He's listening to music while eating. Yep. That's how the structure works, and I still need some practice with it. So tomorrow I'll do it. Not tomorrow, right now. I'll do it right now. I guess, yeah, today's video is pretty long, huh? I'm happy with that, and gosh, I'm so tired. I am so tired today. I just want to sleep now. Anyway, that's it for today. I will see myself tomorrow.